Alright guys, so let's go ahead and get started with this modification for the Marlin crawler. These are going to be your front Terraflex revolvers, and this is going to be the rear Z-box revolver shackle. And it's going to go back here, these are going to go up here. See, in order to get in there, let's just use this to get in there with. And this guy will go on here. I think it goes on like this, I believe. Then it'll stretch out. I think it goes on like that right there. So that's how I'm going to put it on. So for your front shackles, this is your part number, just in case you haven't already seen it on one of my other videos. And for the rear part of the front, which is over back here, you're going to have this one. So let's get this thing put together. So that little piece goes in there. That little piece right here just slid into that slot. And then this will go over it. Then your screw will go in there. And then the nut will obviously go on the back of it. Then again, I think this one goes in here, like that. Shackle goes up in there. Your screw goes in here. Nut goes on the back of it. There's your front portion. Is going to be a little bit more difficult. Okay guys, so we're doing this mod next, and in order to get to put this shackle on, the transmission is going to have to be removed so I can get in here. Okay, so it looks like I'm just going to have to remove these two screws here, and then possibly take this drive line off, and then there's two more screws like this on the other side here. Oh, correction, only one screw on this side. And maybe that looks like it hopefully will be able to remove it. So let's find out. Alright guys, so here's what I had to do. I had to completely remove this bracket from the other side here. That way I could move the transmission a little bit to the side and forward, because there's a little notch here that goes into that groove in there, in that hole, and that's what was locking it in. Even after I had removed the screw, it was still tied up against there, and since I couldn't pull the transmission away from it to get that out, I had to remove that whole other bracket. So that's how we got that off of there. And now, hopefully, the rest of this will be a piece of cake. Because now I just got to get the screws out of here. If you can see that, hopefully, these screws right here on both sides. Remove those. Install that bracket. And we should be good to go. Alright guys, so I got the shackles mounted in here on both sides. They do have to be mounted from the inside, which sucks because it's got a lip in there the way that it goes in. So it goes on from the inside, and now I just got to put the transmission back on. And I'm probably, since I already got the drive line apart, I think I'm gonna go ahead and install the other drive line too while I got this thing apart. So that'll be easy. I mean, if you haven't done a drive line before, all it is just there's a this thing won't turn here. There's a pin right here that will come out. Then your drive shaft will slide off, and that's the same with this front half. So I'll get those out and I'll put in the new one, and then I'll come right back. Okay, so here's the difference in size of the two drive lines. Alright, let's get these things on and get that transmission put on. Okay guys, so now what you're going to do is take this screw right here that comes with your revolvers and this nut, and you're going to connect it to this piece. You're going to connect this, put the screw through here. There's a hole right here. You push the screw through it, and then you have your leaf springs in there. So you push this through the leaf spring, through the bracket, and on the other side you're going to twist this nut onto it. Okay, and I'll tighten that down, and I'll do the other side the same way. Okay, so now to get the transmission back in. Alright, so now to get the transmission back in, we're going to put this bracket back in here, connect it to the transmission, well, to here, and to the frame, and then this side, this piece here is going to slide into the shaft, and that's going to go into that slot. Over here. So slide this into the shaft, get that into that slot, and that groove in there, get it to go in. There, just like that. Now I'll take the bracket and remount the bracket back on here. Okay, heads up on this bracket. This taller side here, if you look at this side's taller than this side. This side mounts to your transmission. Just a little bit of advice before you do the wrong thing. Alright, I'll be right back. Okay guys, so I've got the screws mounted into the bracket on the outside here, into that bracket, and then those screws mounted into the transmission. And then on the other side there's just one screw like this. I don't know why there's only one, but there's only one, and I already got it in there too. So last piece here is going to get, just put this pin down in that drive line, So get that locked into there, nice and tight, and that is together. So transmission's in, shackles are on, shocks are on. I believe we're good to go. Let's see how this is gonna look. Hang on a second. Oh, the drive line. Okay, your drive line, I know I said it was 135 millimeter. It's 100 to 130 millimeter drive line. So that's the part number. Hopefully you saw the part number. Alright, now I'm going to get the wheels back on this thing and see how it looks. Alright guys, I got the suspension mods done to this, so you can see how much of a lift this actually creates. There's a pretty good size difference here for the back as well as the front. Actually, at the end of this video there's pictures so you can see the difference between the before and after. So, but yeah, so what I did was just the 100 millimeter shocks in the front, the Terraflex revolvers on the front part of the leaf spring, and the Z-Box revolvers on the rear part of the front leaf spring. Then on the rear of the truck, what I did was I removed one leaf spring from each side, and I removed the springs out of the shocks. So that's the mod, and you can see it really did make quite a bit of a difference. So that's gonna be it for now, guys. As always, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. And I'll see you in the next video.